That camera.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Midwestern State University's last town hall meeting. We're coming to you from the recently renovated and newly opened Moffett Library. It's open now, so for anyone that wants to come in and study for finals, feel free to come in and look around and see how beautiful everything is. My name is Dr. Pam Morgan, and I'm the Director of Academic Outreach and Distance Education. And we're hoping to answer all your questions tonight, and so I'd like for the panel to introduce themselves. Bev?
I'm Dr. Beverly Stiles. I'm a professor and chair of sociology.
I'm Darla Inglish, and I'm the University Registrar.
And I'm Dora Beavers, and I am the Director of Admissions.
So while we're waiting on some questions to come in, we have a few that were sent to us earlier, and so we'll just go to some of those and start answering some questions that students submitted before. I guess one of them that's on everyone's mind is graduation, and so there's a question about why we aren't having May and then August graduation, and then kind of a follow-up, will there be anything special done for the May graduates? And perhaps someone in enrollment management could speak to that.
I think I could take that one, Pam. Thank you. Of course, the May graduation, sadly for us, was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's just not safe to have a large gathering of individuals, and actually not allowed at the time of the date of our graduation. We then looked for maybe having an August 1st graduation ceremony, and it just still hasn't appeared from the CDC recommendations that rolling out large gatherings is going to be a safe practice. But what we do want to do is something really special for our graduates, and so anyone who is a May graduate candidate has received an email asking them to submit a photograph so that we can do experience graduation, sort of a celebration in lieu of being able to have the ceremony. Now, your degrees are still going to be awarded on May 16th if you complete all your requirements. So it's just the ceremony that isn't happening on May 16th. So your diplomas will still say you are a May graduate, May 2020 of Midwestern State University, if you completed all your requirements. And so we wanted to do a celebration. So if you have not submitted your photo, we ask that you go back to your email and find the email address where you're to submit it and follow the instructions, because we're going to fix up something really special for you. Our administration is excited to present this for you, and we want you to experience graduation even though we can't have the gathering.
Very good. There's a question that was asked about finals coming up, and do we have any advice for students? I'll speak to the technology side because my department supports D2L. Make sure that you, if you're kicked out of an exam for any reason, if your service kicks you out, if you have browser problems, take a screenshot of the error message that you're getting and then immediately re-enter your test. We found out that a lot of students didn't know they could do that, but of course you can. And then when you're finished with the exam, if you'll send an email to both your instructor and the D2L support staff, and someone can put that email address up for you, d2lhelp@msutexas.com, then we can help support what you're saying with your instructor. Also, if the faculty is requiring lockdown browser, make sure you download that beforehand, and there's a couple of ways you can do it, and you can contact our office for help. Don't use Chromebook, so if that's what you have, borrow one or come up to a lab. Dr. Stiles, do you want to speak to it from faculty standpoint?
Sure. I would suggest that you make sure you know what your exam is going to look like. Is it all multiple choice? Is it all essay? Is it, a combination, multiple choice and essay? Make sure you know what your exam is going to look like before you go into that exam. Make sure you know the date and time of your exam. That's probably the biggest issue that I'm seeing with students who have been moved from a face-to-face class to an online class, is missing times for submissions, because this is all new to them, and they're confused about when to get on and when to upload assignments and things like that, or at least initially. So I would make sure you have, all of that information before you go in to take a test.
That's good advice. There was another question about summer enrollment. I think there's some question about, is it in person, is it online? So Gayonne, is that something you'd like to speak to?
Summer enrollment is going to be online only. We've opted for all of our summer sessions to be online for the same reasons that we're not having graduation. It's just not a good time to have those gatherings, and at the time that we needed to make those decisions, we couldn't actually have any online or any on-campus classes. And so all of those, per the orders of the governor, are online only until the fall semester.
There's also a few questions about SAT and ACT, how to submit their applications without scores because so many of the facilities for testing have been closed.
Sure.
So what do students do about that?
Absolutely. We have altered our admission criteria just slightly on a temporary basis to account for the students that have not been able to get their SAT or their ACT scores or haven't been able to sit and test for those scores. So we have been able to look at the high school curriculum and to look at the high school GPA, and we have created admission bands. And if your high school GPA falls within a certain band that we have created, then you will be admitted to the university accordingly for a temporary amount of time while we are in the pandemic. So that is how we are admitting without SAT, ACT scores.
Okay. There's a question about, will the tuition deadline be extended for summer payments? Over in the wings, we have a couple of vice presidents, Dr. Keith Lamb and Fred Dietz. We don't allow them on camera because they'll talk too much, but we would like an answer if you have one.
Deferring of summer tuition payment?
Yes.
We'll check on that.
They're going to check on that, and then you can check for an answer in the comment section. Speaking about that, there was a question about summer, and if some of the mandates relaxed, would we be together in the summer too? I believe the plan at this point is that all of summer will be online. To my knowledge, that has not changed. The good news is there's a 25% discount for all of the online core classes. Someone asked, how did we pick which classes were to be discounted? My guess is that it's because the core is what most students take in the summer, and so that is a way to extend some kind of discount to almost everyone. Another question is review summer orientation. So Gayonne, although you said it was online, I guess perhaps they're asking for some more detail.
Sure. The online orientation component that we have for all new students that are attending MSU for the first time just covers the basic need-to-know information in order to fulfill your orientation requirement. That is a component of admission for first-year students and for transfer students. And so all students will have to fulfill that requirement. Like I said, it is just the basics, and then there will be a student engagement, student involvement part of orientation that will take place at Roundup, which will be prior to the first week of classes. So students will still be able to get the full orientation experience. It will just be in two distinct parts instead of just all during the summer in different sessions. So there is the online component that you do have to fulfill, and then there will be the on-campus component that will take place prior to the first week of classes.
So one of the questions submitted earlier that had to do with campus and summer is, can they still come up to campus and check things out? Mm-hmm. Are we allowing that even though we're not giving official tours?
We are not giving official tours right now because of the social distancing, so there are no official tours that are taking place. But to my knowledge, you can still come and walk around as long as you are still abiding by the social distancing that the governor is suggesting. So to my knowledge, sure, you can come and look around and see what campus is like. We also do have a virtual tour that is an option for you. So if you haven't ever been to campus and you just want to have an idea of what it looks like, please go to the admissions webpage and click on the Visit Campus page, and we will have a virtual tour there available for you where you can take a tour of the entire campus virtually.
And not only is the Moffett Library open, but we do have some computer labs on campus that are open, not only in Moffett, I'm assuming, but the Clark Student Center, and then the Dillard College has a couple of labs open on different floors, I believe all of which have lockdown browsers. So if your professor is requiring that of you, you could come and take your test here, as long as you do pay attention to your social distancing and whatnot. Review again why only core classes are discounted this summer. Well, I don't know how they determined that, other than the majority of our student body take core in the summer. They oftentimes we see students trying to catch up on hours or repeat a class, and I think that it was the way to be the most fair to everyone, and to extend the discount as far as they could for as many students as possible without just cutting the costs across the board. Another student asked, can they bring a car on campus the first year? Yes, you can. The cooler, the better. If it's a convertible, come by and pick me up. Will the gym open up when the governor gives the okay? Keith, do you know anything about that?
Yes, I'm answering that right now, actually.
Oh, okay. So you want me to skip that one? He's going to answer that question in the comments section. When is the deadline for housing in the fall?
I am not sure about the actual deadline. There have been priority deadlines that have already passed, but
There's no official deadline, but
Okay, that's-
but we first come, first served.
Sure.
So the sooner the better.
So Dr. Lamb said there's no official deadline right now, but it still is first come, first serve. So just keep that in mind as you're making your decisions about housing.
and the application is available online, so it's not as if you have to come to campus. You can apply on the housing website for housing.
When is the first day of class? So Darla,
Summer 1 is June 1st, so that's easy to remember. If you happen to be taking a May mini term class, it starts the Monday after graduation, which
May
would be
18th.
May 18th.
Yes.
Summer 2, I'd have to look, but it's early July, and let's see, 5th maybe or something.
That sounds right.
July 6th is the first day of summer 2. So there's still time to apply if you haven't.
Absolutely.
Gayonne, can you tell us how long they can apply for admission?
Absolutely. They can still apply for summer 2, and of course there's still time to apply for fall. If you're wanting to apply for summer 1, we are getting very close to the time when we won't be able to complete everything that we need to in order to get you in the classes on time. But at this point in time, we still do have a little bit of time available. So please make sure if you're wanting to attend a summer class that you apply quickly.
So how does that also apply to scholarships? Are we still taking scholarship applications?
Yes, the scholarship deadline for fall is July 1. It was initially April 1st, or July 1st, but April 1st was the initial deadline. And during that time is when a lot of community colleges and high schools were deciding what to do about the pandemic. Many of them were already closing, some of them were in the process of closing. And so we moved the deadline to July 1st so that we wouldn't penalize students who had not been able to get the paperwork that they had already requested to us in order to meet the deadline. So we didn't want to penalize the students, and so we have moved that to the summer in order to give the high schools and the community colleges an opportunity to get that the information to us that we need in order to get the students admitted. We are getting quite a few transcripts in, so most of the high schools have created a way to get transcripts to us. And the community colleges have as well. If the only transcript that you can get to us is an unofficial transcript, we will accept that temporarily. We will have to have the official transcript to us before the end of the fall semester so that you can enroll in your spring classes, but we can make on a temporary basis a decision on an unofficial transcript. But if you can get the official ones to us, we ask that you please do so. Like I said, most of the high schools and the community colleges have created processes to where you are able to get the official one to us.
Gayonne, I know that you spoke about this earlier, but I think there's some that missed it. Could you review again the campus tour information and any face-to-face tour information?
Sure. There are no face-to-face tours available at this point in time. That may change as we move through the summer, or it may not. Right now, we're still trying to figure out what the safest thing would be to offer tours or not, but right now no face-to-face campus tours are available. We do, however, have virtual tours or a virtual campus tour that is available online. And if you go to the admissions webpage, and there will be a section on the admissions webpage for visiting campus. You click on that, and one of the very first things that you will see will be our virtual tour. And you can click on that, and there will be a small little tour guide avatar that will guide you through our campus tour, just like our regular tour guides.
Very good. So seniors have been turning in pictures for the virtual celebration, and some students are asking if we have any news on that.
Well, we went ahead and extended the deadline for turning your picture. So if you didn't receive the email that went out last night, we've extended it to Monday, May 11th. Because when we met with our production team and we started building a timeline for getting everything and making a really nice event, it looks like it's going to roll out at the end of May, probably early June. And so we are going to do our best to make it look as much like a graduation celebration you were expecting. So please, if you haven't submitted your photo, please do that. And please know that our administration supports you and is excited. I have to tell you, I've even had some phone calls from students turning in photos. One I answered was one of our MSU alum working the rapid response in New York City. She got her associate's in radiology here at MSU, and she's going to get her bachelor's. And so I was like, bless you that you are representing your alma mater in New York City in this pandemic. And so we want this to celebrate all the work that you have all put into this milestone in your life. So please participate.
And I think there's sort of an honors banquet that's May 22nd. So those of you that are expecting to participate in that, you can watch for more information on that for May 22nd as well. Will there be a delay for graduates getting their degrees? I'm guessing they mean diplomas.
We need the faculty to turn in their grades on time, Dr. Stiles. We have a deadline for them to turn in their grades, so I'm just teasing. But we process the grades as quickly as possible every semester. We will also be processing the honors at that time. We cannot offer pickup of diplomas at this time, so what we're going to do is begin mailing the diplomas when we would have begun allowing pickup, because pickup is always the first. So we're looking at beginning mailing around June 8th. And so that's as early as we can predict that. I will tell you this, again, shout out to our health science majors who are very desperately in need. There is such a need for them out in the workforce. We're going to be jumping through hoops to try to get our health science majors graduation degrees cleared as soon as possible after the degree date, so that we can get those things out so they can sit for licensing exams and that kind of thing. So if you know you're going to need a transcript with your degree on it, there is a way when you request your transcript to request that it be held for your degree to be posted, and that way you don't send one that doesn't have the degree on it yet, and we process those just as fast as we can get the degrees posted on those. We do have a new online transcript requesting. It couldn't have rolled out at a better time. April 1st was our predicted go live date, and even with COVID happening, we met that go live. So you are now able to request those and get them in where we can have them ready to go as soon as possible. So if you have questions, email registrar@msutexas.edu for transcript questions, and of course for graduates, it's graduation connection at MSU Texas.
Thanks, Darla. Another question, will we receive our honors cords? My daughter is graduating in May. Shout out to Rachel.
Go Rachel.
Go Rachel. And she has been able to pick up some of her honors cords from the department. Others you have to order. So my suggestion would be for you to contact your advisor or the dean's office in the program that you believe you're going to receive cords in, and just ask when those are available to you. But I think the short answer is yes.
And if they're Latin honors cords, like if they graduate with honors, we will process that when we're processing grades, and we will mail those honor cords that you would have worn on your left sleeve in with your diplomas. Also, if you happen to be a veteran of the United States military, if you will contact Gregory Chesterman at msutexas.edu, we always offer a special veterans cord for U.S. military veterans. If you are already using VA benefits at MSU, he will know that and have your name on file. But if you were not currently using them, you would need to provide him some paperwork, and if you reach out by email, he will tell you what he needs in order to provide the graduating senior with the Veterans Honor Cord as well.
So the next question, will there be a physical graduation in December? We certainly hope so. We miss having you on campus. As sad as you were to not be coming back in the summer, we were equally sad. It's not the same place without you. We're disheartened that we don't have a graduation in May. I think everyone is working really hard to have some responsible plans in place for fall so that it can be as similar to a traditional experience as we could expect in the times that we're in. So I think it's too soon to say for certain, but we all hope that we have graduation in December for any number of reasons. And on that same note, there was a question earlier about, will fall look different because of what we've gone through? You know, it may, but I think it would be in a positive way. We expect to be back together physically, but I think the faculty have done such hard work in learning technology, and Dr. Stiles may want to speak to this, and they've worked very hard to learn, they've worked very hard to use it, and I can imagine that you're going to see more of that implemented into traditional classes. So that may be a positive to come out of this experience. What do you think will happen?
I can't answer whether faculty will be more likely to use online. I can't answer that, but I can say that we are so thankful that the students have been so forgiving while we bring ourselves up to speed, and it happened so quickly, so that we could bring ourselves up to speed technologically to be where our students are.
Yeah.
So I think we're very thankful for that.
Well, and you've worked so hard to learn so much. It's hard to imagine that you won't have some of them at least wanting to continue using a few of the tools that they've learned. There's another question. Where do seniors drop off the $30 fee and 2 forms for the December 2020 grads?
You can make your payment online. There's actually, through our web portal, the payment gateway, and you can pay the $30 online. The only reason you would have to bring a fee is if you're choosing to pay with a check. You can mail in the forms about graduation. We also have drop boxes. While we're not allowed to serve the public yet at this time, we have a drop box in the foyer in Hardin South 101. It's up high on the wall. And if you'll just reach up in there and drop it in, we check that many times a day. There's also one at the back where there's a driveway on the side that faces Comanche Trail. Down low, it dates back from the days when there were paper grade sheets that were submitted after hours, but that drop box has been put back into use for students to drop things off, and it doesn't have to be a graduation. I think Gayonne's staff has utilized it for things we need in the admissions department, so please drop them off, and we will work on them as soon as possible. Right now we're focusing on May. Very next, we've already started August audits and started rolling those out, and then we'll begin working December ones.
Please clarify the intent to have December ceremony for May grads. My understanding is that the May graduates will be invited to walk in December. Dr. Lamb, is that as you understand it?
Separate ceremony.
Dr. Shipley did
Yeah, so
mention that.
Dr. Shipley has said maybe we'll have a separate
A separate
ceremony just
ceremony.
for May grads.
Okay, so Dr. Shipley said that we may have a separate ceremony in December for May graduates, so that's good news. Is there a deadline for online orientation for incoming students?
Not a deadline in the traditional sense. We will be offering online orientation from now through most of the month of August. Now when we get towards the end of August and we are having roundup and we're having the first week of classes, then there will be limitations to what can be done online. And there may be some things that once the classes begin, you may have to meet with a person on campus if that is indeed what we are doing this fall. But otherwise, you are welcome to take the online orientation, whether it is 8 in the morning or 8 at night or midnight. There is no deadline in that sense, and it will be offered throughout the summer.
So this felt like deja vu, but maybe it's worded differently. Did we just answer
Are these
that?
the graduation forms? There might be some confusion about where these drop boxes are.
Okay, so the
You
question
can-
is where do seniors drop off their fees and forms?
Right, so you can mail them in is perfectly fine, or
Rewind.
you can come to the Hardin building, which is the building with the bell tower, and you can drop them off in Hardin South 101. They're in the foyer by where our front counter is. There's a drop box up high in the wall, and then on the back door with the glass window panes by the driveway off of Comanche Trail, we have a little drop box flap there. So please feel free to utilize that, and you can drop off things for the admissions office as well.
Right. You can drop off transcripts as well. If you happen to have a paper copy of a transcript, you're welcome to drop those off in the drop box as well, or any other paperwork that you may need to submit for the admission process.
So in one of the other town hall meetings that we had, students had a lot of questions about help with their work, and specifically the flexibility of our tutoring online in the evening. So that is available to you, and there is a tutoring website on our page somewhere, but if you log into distance education, there is a tutoring link up at the right of your page, and you can contact that department and schedule whatever help you need in the evenings, if that's what's best for you, really any help at all that you need. And with finals coming up, that may still be a pressing thought for some of you. So I want to make sure that you know that we do have online tutoring services. So please reach out if you need help, and they'll do all that they can to schedule some time with you. So it looks like we're going to take a 1-minute break, and then we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the town hall meeting. We have another question that's come in, and it says, will classes be online in the fall? We'll have a lot of classes online in the fall, but it is the intent of the university that we're going to all come back together and we're going to see each other in person. You may see some things modified a little bit, but we plan to be back on a normal fall schedule with as long as everything keeps going the way it is. And so, but yes, we will still have classes online as well, but we will be back on campus together. Another question, how will we take the TSI assessment? Gayonne, that's probably you.
We do have remote TSI testing available now through our testing service center. Like I said, it is remote, so you will need to email Sheila Barrett, and her email address is sheila.barrett@msutexas.edu, and she will be able to set up a time. It is by appointment only in order for us to abide by the social distancing, but please email her, and then she can give you further instructions on what needs to happen in order for you to be able to take your TSI test, because that is something that will be required in order to enroll in your classes for the fall, or to stay enrolled in your classes for the fall.
So Gayonne, as a follow-up, they're asking to review the admissions requirements. Let's do both for summer and fall.
The way that we are doing admissions now, just because of the lack of SAT and ACT testing capability, is we are looking at high school curriculum and we are looking at high school GPA, and then we are making admissions decisions accordingly. So that is for our freshmen students that are coming in. For our transfer students, we have always looked at GPA and the number of transfer credits, and that is still what we are doing. And we just need to get copies of your transcripts. As I stated earlier, most of the institutions, most of the high schools and the community colleges have developed processes to where they can get transcripts to us. We get transcripts daily here that we are processing as quickly as we get them. So most of the locations have been able to get us official transcripts. If, however, you happen to live in a place where your high school or your community college cannot get an official transcript to us, we are temporarily taking unofficial transcripts where we can go ahead and take a look at your curriculum or your GPA or your credits and make an admission decision accordingly. And then we will have to have your official transcript before the end of the fall semester so that you can go ahead and enroll in your spring classes. So we will ultimately need an official transcript from you, but if right now it just is not feasible, then we will accept an unofficial on a temporary basis.
One of the questions that came in earlier was some schools are requiring COVID-19 testing before coming to campus, and will that happen here? I have not heard anything about this. Dr. Lamb? So there's a task force that's going to be starting up tomorrow at 10 a.m. and those kinds of questions will be getting reviewed, and as soon as that information is determined, you will of course be notified about it. This sounds like a question we give to students after a big project. Lessons learned. What have you learned through this semester? You want to start, Dr. Stiles?
Thank you. Wow, I think I've learned that faculty and students are very resilient, and that the institution of education, we're going to be here no matter what.
Yeah.
We can get through anything if we can just like that proceed and give our students a quality education. So
I guess I've learned in distance education, I've learned that we miss you, that it's a much better place when you are here. I've learned more patience, and I've also learned I don't want to work from home. I used to think a remote job was like a dream, and I'm texting my boss constantly, can we come back? Can we please come back? So I love what I do. I love this university, and we love having you here. So that's probably what I've learned the most this semester.
I would say that I've learned that our staff and our administration not only love and care for the students, but they are poised to make rapid changes when necessary to try to make things happen that are needed for our students. My staff are some working at home. We have a few that come in at a social distance because there are some parts of records work that require a physical presence. And you don't know how excited my staff become when it is graduation. That event is just like electricity. It's one of the most exciting things in the lives of many of our students. And when we have pre-graduation meetings, we talk about it. It ranks up there with weddings and things like that. So we always want to put on a really good celebration. So we're all focused on how we can do that for you, still trying to maintain the very large workload for our students, but trying to be poised to make changes where necessary so that we can get you what you need. Thank you for your patience. Students have been so kind on the phone and on the email. We appreciate that you understand we're working in a different environment, and sometimes at home our internet doesn't work.
That's true.
I think in the admissions office we've learned that we can adapt really quickly. The decision to go virtual in many instances happened with a lot of quickness for everyone that was involved, not just at MSU, but in all industries. And we learned that we are very adaptable, and our students are as well. We also have learned of some efficiencies that came out of our need to go virtual, and we have realized some things that we can do to make it an even faster process. So some good things have come out of this, not just negative things. And we have also learned that our virtual sessions that we are doing with our admissions counselors and our prospective students are very handy, and those are things that we are going to be keeping in our toolbox for future recruitment options, especially in the spring when we are needing to really talk to students and having one-on-one virtual appointments. Again, another efficiency and another tool that we're going to add in our toolbox for future recruitment endeavors.
We've also learned the importance of hair salons.
Yes.
All of our hairdos have gotten bigger and longer and changed. So another question that just popped up, Dr. Lamb, not Fred. Do you know if Roundup Week and Stampede Week will be the same as last fall?
Conceptually, from what I understand, yes. There will be some programmatic changes, but that is not unusual. Programmatic changes happen on an annual basis. But conceptually, it's my understanding that it will be similar to last year.
A question that had come in earlier was, would there be an opportunity to have more training for faculty if we needed it again for the summer and fall? And yes, you know, as Dr. Stiles mentioned earlier, this transition happened very, very quickly, and everyone was just in emergency mode. But we have developed a lot of training, and we'll continue rolling out training and having virtual training sessions for any faculty that want to participate. They're all eager to know more and do more regardless of the circumstances. So I anticipate that going forward as actively as we've been doing the last 2 months. We have another question. If we took our meningitis vaccination for another university, can I send that document, and how?
If you have your meningitis documentation, you absolutely can send it to us. We do not have to have an original. You can email it to us. If you have that capability at home or on your phone, you can email it to admissions@msutexas.edu, or you can upload it to Magnus. That is our official way of being able to verify your meningitis documentation. And if you go to our main page and type in meningitis in the search engine, then it will bring up a list of frequently asked questions with regard to meningitis, and it will guide you through that process. But yes, you absolutely can do that as far as emailing it or uploading it to Magnus directly.
And for students that have an iPhone, you can go to the Notes app, and at the bottom you'll see the camera icon, and if you'll click that, you can hold your phone over your document and it'll prompt you to scan the document, and then you save it, and then you can email directly out of Notes to the email address that Gayonne either provided or is on the admissions page. So if you don't have a way to scan, otherwise use your iPhone, and if you forgot what I just said, feel free to email us, d2lhelp@msutexas.edu. Another question, are there more admissions virtual sessions coming up?
Absolutely. We are doing them on a weekly basis. We have admitted student sessions, prospective student sessions, transfer student sessions, and we are also developing some specialty sessions where coming up we will have one specifically on housing and specifically on financial aid. And then later on in the month we will go back to our regular virtual sessions where we are presenting on MSU and asking any or answering any questions on next steps for those that are admitted. So yes, we will continue to have virtual sessions throughout the summer.
I think we have time for maybe one more question. One that came up at another town hall session was really for Dr. Lamb, and the question was about fall's important to us because of homecoming, and there was a question about what would those activities look like. And I think that's also part of the plan that you're putting together, but the intention is to still have homecoming. The celebrations may look a little different, smaller.
Things will look different, but we have to develop them still.
Okay,
Yeah.
so things will look a little different, but we have every intention of having homecoming. So that's good news, and we're excited to get back to some of our traditions that we all look forward to. Does anybody have anything else they want to say? Any reminders for what's coming up? You still have time to enroll for summer. You may even have time to enroll for May Mini.
Yes, we will still take enrollments for May Mini. As a matter of fact, the first day of the May Mini is the very last day you can register, but don't wait until then. We want to know that you're enrolled and so that you can get your seat in that class. So yes, registration is up until Thursday of finals. Then we will take a break to process your grades and your graduations. And again, there's still time to submit your photo, and I think the class of 2020 is one of the best looking classes we've had.
With the moms out there taking all the pictures.
And Pam has one in there. So.
Yes, I do. Well, thank you for joining us. We're going to take a brief break, and then we'll be right back.
Good evening. I was so excited when they asked if I could be at this final town hall meeting to do a shout out to our students. I'm just echoing what I'm sure you've heard every single meeting, that we miss you so much, and this beautiful library is starting to have students come back to it, and it will just look so much more vibrant and so much alive with you in it. We miss you. We're excited that it's your last few days of class and that you're heading into finals, and you have made it. You've done it. We're just excited for you, and don't give up now because you're almost to the finish line and we know you can do it. I want to go back to what the group was talking about with lessons learned, because I've thought a lot about what the lessons may be that you've learned through this crisis, and I want you to take some time when you're finished with finals and write down some thoughts about what you've learned, because I believe that the past 2 to 3 months will make a real difference in your lives and your careers if you stop and reflect on what you've learned. And I think the most important thing you've learned in these past 2 to 3 months is that you can be an independent learner. And I can assure you that learning independently takes a real degree of responsibility, of self-motivation, of direction, and that's what's going to make a difference for you in succeeding in the workplace, in your life, with your family, in your career. So write down 10 to 12 things that you've noticed about yourself in this time that you just never knew you had it in you. What was it? Courage? Was it energy? Was it the realization that it's boring not to learn and that you really do want to learn every day? Was it that you've missed your friends, you've missed a social life, you've missed being together, you've missed the patterns of life as they come and go that you thought maybe you were tired of? So sit down and cherish those lessons that you've learned and put those away for when you begin to go to graduate study, apply for jobs, etc., and bring those out in your interviews as something that makes you distinctive as a person who has struggled to come to the better side of this crisis. Let me talk for a minute to our seniors. There have been so many thoughts about what we can do for you at this time. And you may think, well, why isn't there a parade on campus? Or why isn't there this event or that event? And we decided that we really wanted to wait until we could honor all of you equally. And so you're going to be part of our first ever virtual commencement. It'll be really exciting. Please send in your photos. But we'll also save a spot for you with our other graduating seniors in December at your own special ceremony. But we didn't want to do something that would leave those folks who aren't living here in Wichita Falls out. And so please know we're thinking of you every moment. We'll have our honor ceremonies in a virtual way, and we'll try to honor the 4 years, the 5 years, the 6 years you spent with us and your completion of that in the best possible way. But I want to personally tell you how proud I am of this accomplishment and of all you've done to finish out this way. Go seniors. I'd also like to talk for a minute about some of the decisions we've made. Some people wanted us to do more moving toward a pass-fail environment, and we talked about that a lot. And the reason we wanted to stay with our policies as they were is that we didn't want you to waste a moment of this time. We knew it would be difficult for you, but so many degree plans and so many certifications rely on a grade. And we may see students for years making up for the time that they took their classes but they didn't get a grade, or making up time to get certified. And we wanted to try to give you the support to push through that second half of the semester and get all the credit you deserve from the semester. So if you're still a little miffed with us about not going fully pass-fail or something like that, let me tell you that we really, our faculty, our staff, we did this in the best intention for your investment and for your time. And speaking of investments, I want to be particularly sure that you know that the CARES Act is allowing some of our students to have federal aid, and I hope that any of you who are eligible have applied for that aid. But I'd also like you to know that we have private sources of funding for you, and if you find yourself in a difficult financial experience, please look on our website and find out about our different emergency funds. We have lots of help for food insecurity, but other ways of helping you also. And finally, I have to talk about the future. We're excited about summer. We're staying online. We believe that safety comes first. We want to get the semester underway in both summer semesters so that we're ramping up for fall. But do come for fall knowing that there's a lot of unknowns. We're going to be in person, but bring that flexibility with you that you've developed now in this difficult time, because we could get started and have to stop and start again. We could have classes that look different than what you're used to. We could have classes that are partially online and partially in person. We could all be wearing masks, but this is a time to find some really cool masks to wear because they are now the fashion statement. We could have football, we could not have football. We just don't know what will be happening, but we do know that the important thing is that you'll be here with us, you'll be safe, and we can't wait to see you. So with that, I'd just like to say, go Mustangs, we miss you, and we wish you all the best. Thank you.